Good morning, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Thursday morning, March 4th. We're looking at the SPY ETFs market profile here on Window Trader. And for once, it's kind of refreshing to see the market do what you would expect it to do after the previous day instead of totally doing the opposite, although we've rallied tremendously from the overnight lows. But right now, after going out with a price probe, pushing lower all afternoon to finally have the inside day down be a success, we're attempting to gap lower below yesterday's low, below the price spike, and see if we can get some continuation to the downside. Here's the question we have to ask ourselves. Well, there's two. Number one, you have Powell speaking at noon Eastern time today. And number two, we have the job number tomorrow morning. So is this market going to be ready to come out of balance prior to those two things? Right? The balance low as of right now is 378.23. We got down to 378.80 pre-market. Just like the other day, we got up to 390. 92 on Monday, 390.07 on Tuesday. We got close to the balance high and rolled over. Is this going to be the same thing this morning prior to getting that information the market's looking for from Powell and the job number? Remains to be seen. Let's go over destinations and then a game plan. So right now we'll use yesterday's low on both sides in case we do gap lower. So the first upside destination would be 381.13. Then we have the overnight low of 381. The overnight high of 381.76, and in the price probe, that's K's low of 382.23. So those numbers are going to make for a good setup possibly this morning. Then we have 385.83, our afternoon rally high, and 386.83, yesterday's high. For the downside, if we do not gap lower, we have 381.31, yesterday's low. Then we have our pre-market low of 378.80, which is right now almost $2 lower from where we're trading. Then we have the weekly low, 378.23, and filling the rest of that gap at 377.34. It's an 89-point gap from February 2nd. 375.81 afternoon pullback low. 375.12 single prints get filled to 374.77 from the first, and another set of singles, 375.51 to 39 from the first, and then the real important number, 371.42. That's last month's low. Remember, triple Qs took out their previous month's low. We're still almost, well, not almost, over $9 away from it right now. So a lot different than the triple Qs. So game plan for this morning. Well, again, we still have 75 minutes to go. If we gap lower and the gap's less than $1, I will look to take a put play. If the gap fills, I'll give it just a little bit of time. I'm not going to give it all the way back up to K's low because M's low to K's low is almost $1's worth of heat. So if we get 10, 15 cents inside, I'm out. If it rallies back, then I'll take another short against the price probe. If that gets accepted, again, I'll be out. Right now, value would start at least lower, possibly go overlap into lower. So those are two put plays early. Remember, the POC was only 8 wide, and I'll show you in Russell also. But it got lowered, but never could get lower below D. So if these sellers fail, if all this is shorts pushing down, if this is just shorts continually pushing, and we get any acceptance inside of K period, and then start one-time framing up, well, guess what? Your next destination really is the POC from yesterday. So those are two short plays early. Longs, again, right here with lower value in a gap, I don't have one. Now, the 50-day moving average, as of right now, let me just see, get a firm number, is 380.71. We're trading just below that. That's another reason for a put play right now. I don't have a call play at this moment. If we're to push lower, I could take a call play against the bottom of the balance, but I wouldn't, if we push lower by another $1.50 again to around the overnight low, you could take a long against that. We get below it, I'd get out because then I would think that weekly low could possibly fall. That's an early call play. The only other call play, if we do come back into the range, start one time framing up in B with acceptance inside of K's range, then I would look for a long to at least travel the rest of M and then see what we get at L's high and the POC. Those would be call plays. Now, let's look at Russell. Gap in lower also, same thing. It's basically the same. They had a price probe when right now we're looking at gap low. But again, remember, they were 8 wide and they were above the opening. So any acceptance back inside K's range, and they could start chewing away at the rest of M's range back up to POC. Triple Qs are the ones with the bigger issue. They had a trend day yesterday. IWM and SPY and ES did not. They probe, but not by a lot. But they still are looking to have a gap. So again, I would take a put play out if the gap fills, but I would look to take another put play against L's high here out if the single prints fill. Remember, another double distribution day. Treat this as 2 separate days, from L's high, J and L's high to the low, and then from H's low to the day's high. This is 3 double distribution days to the upside that they still have, along with 2 other gaps, not even including today's, if we gap lower. And then quickly on the charts, just going to show you SPY's daily, right? Because that's the important one right now. Right? The weekly 387.50 right now seems miles away for SPY. But, so right now, the daily. 9-day balance, the bottom of it is 378.23. That would also mean if we take out the bottom of the balance, being below the 50, and then you can start getting some acceleration again down to that level I'm talking about, the 365, 370 level. If, however, we hold the bottom of the balance, we hold the 50-day moving average, the market likes what Powell says, the market likes the job number tomorrow, or whatever it wants with the job number, then you can start seeing rotation back to the top of the balance. I will not be here tomorrow. I will be here this afternoon to give a recap. Have a great day trading, and we'll speak at 4 p.m.